Things just got worse and worse and worse as the night went on. Again, valiant effort down the stretch for the Bucs. Just too little, too late. Let's go down and let's see what Coach Fletch and the rest of the crew has to say. And as always, go Bulls. So let's head into the locker room right now and see what the guys have to say about that one. Wow. Where do the Buccaneers go from here? What an incredible atmosphere. What a good win for the Tampa Bay Lightning. They snapped a 7-game winning streak. How we feeling, Bucs Nation? It's time to party, baby.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Recher podcast, back in the home studios today after a very fun day yesterday over at the Benchmark. At the bench, baby. At the bench, the new name for the arena over there, the former arena known as Amalie Arena. But yeah, man, we're back here at the home studio. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day, whether you're here in the Tampa Bay area or abroad. Plenty to get into today. No shortage of news here in the Tampa Bay area as we get adjusted. Follow me on all social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok. I am everywhere. Instagram as well. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to the Beckles and Recher podcast. Yesterday, another great show today. We're going to talk about a little bit of everything here on the program. I got my shake and bake on today. Because, of course, we're always supporting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 2-0 as they get ready for their Week 3 matchup on Sunday at Raymond James Stadium against the New York Jets. Our good buddy Jake Asman is going to join us tomorrow. Jake covers all things Jets. He is fantastic. He's actually going to be in town. He's got a couple of watch parties, so we're going to promote them on the show as well if you want to go and check them out. Yeah, really, really good stuff so far this week. On the program, the last couple of weeks on the show. Like, man, it's been a lot of fun being here with you guys, but it does not stop. And especially yesterday, being at the bench and being around all the hockey media guys again, like it's exciting. This is one of my favorite parts of the year. A lot of baseball, a lot of baseball, a lot of hockey, a lot of football. Basketball's right around the corner too. No shortage of sports, no shortage of great things to talk about around here. On the program today, we're going to talk about a multitude of things, including the latest from Buccaneer practice today. Also, what the Tampa Bay Lightning are doing over there in Brandon. We've got our guy chiming in at 1 o'clock today, Dave Randorf, Lightning TV play-by-play voice. Can join us for about 10 minutes right before the end of practice, just to give us an update of what's going on over there, what his big takeaways were yesterday from the opening day there, the media day over at the bench, and just the update on the new TV deal with Scripps, which is going to make it a lot easier for you and everybody out there to be able to watch the games this year. I know it's been such a big bugaboo the last couple of seasons, watching it there on Valley, and some people don't have it unless you have the cable provider. You have to go through the app or somewhere else. It's going to be a lot easier now with Scripps. Everybody is very, very excited about that. Questions, comments, concerns, I want you to leave them there at the bottom of the screen. Always want you to join in on the program. Here is the link if you want to join in via your phone or your laptop. StreamYard.com/G96KIXW7BZ. David Terry in the house. Liverpool, that was an awesome match in Madrid. Did not give up. Virgil was just too much of them. You got that right, buddy. And then Lady Evil. Jets might become a trap game. Injuries piling up, just devastating. We'll get into that and what we can do, our part, here in a little bit. Also on the program a little bit later on, we're going to talk about the Thursday night matchup between the Dolphins and the Bills and why I think this could be the end of the season for the Miami Dolphins tonight and the end of Mike McDaniel's tenure there in Miami. You're 0-2 and you're going up to Orchard Park to take on the Bills. It's probably the last place you want to go if you're the Fins and Mike McDaniel, but that is exactly where they are going to be. And then finally, we're going to end the show talking about a team that I really don't like talking about, but the more and more I watch them and the more and more I kind of gauge like what works come playoff time, they probably scare me the most. We'll do that at 1:15 after our pal Dave Randorf joins us here on the program. Adam Cartwright, I don't know if it'll be tonight, but the Fins will finish the season with an interim head coach. Yes, no doubt about that. Guys, if you can contribute any way, $1, $2, $5, $10, $20 via the super chat, every little bit helps on the program. Or if you know somebody who wants to be a sponsor, like our friend Honest Hammer, Custom Builders LLC, 813-244-0956. Jump aboard and you can become part of the J Retro Podcast family. A lot of things going on. We should have the t-shirts up and running by next week. I was talking to the guy last night, but you got to see the J Retro Podcast t-shirts, man. You're going to be able to get them on t-shirts, going to be able to get them on sweatshirts, going to be able to get them on hats. Like, it's pretty badass, man. I'm telling you, I'm very, very excited on how that whole thing is going to go. And yeah, we're going to be rocking it. Jeff Taylor's been asking us for a long time. Let's get some shirts. Yeah, well, we are in the mode and we are getting closer, about a week away from being a full go for that. All right. What I want everybody to do now when you're watching this, as you're watching this, I want everybody, whether you're watching on Facebook, whether you're watching on YouTube, whether you're watching on Twitter, I want you to kill that like button, hit that like button as much as you can. And I want you to share this on all of your social media platforms. Let everybody know. That's the only way that this thing is going to grow, is if we all do it together. All right, guys, you ready for this? I have no idea how this next segment is going to go here on the program, but this is what we're going to do. Okay, so if you guys know me, I'm always willing to do my part to help the teams here locally in any form or fashion. If you remember last year, Zach and I, we sacrificed a chicken to try to help the Lightning come back and beat the Florida Panthers in their playoff series. It didn't work, but the effort was there. This time, we're going to do something to help our Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And after we heard the dreadful news last night that Cody Mauch is out for the year, it just keeps piling on and on and on. And we got to do our thing here on the show. So what we're going to do is we got to go back to basics. And we got to really call upon the legends that came before us in order to get this done. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take these off. And I've got my Baker shirt here. That's coming off. Oh, I got Buck Around and Find Out shirt. That's coming off. Oh, God. I got my Bucko Bruce shirt on. That's coming off. We're going all the way back. All the way back. A little nip action there. Sorry, folks. We're going with our Big Nasty Last Ride shirt. We're going all the way back, buddy. All the way back. We got to make sure that we're doing this right. Of course, you want to mow the lawn right now. Thanks. All the way back. Oh, to Rondé Barber. Okay. Our t-shirt. Rondé to the Hall. Our Smack Apparel t-shirt. The only way that we are going to be able to get this done is we have to rid all of the bad juju away from our Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the only way that we're going to do that is we're going to have to sage the damn thing. No, we're not bringing in Ira Kaufman. No, we are not giving him a call because he's over at the Advent Health Training Center in One Buc Place. But we are literally going to light some sage right now on the show. Here it is. Have I ever done this before? No, but I'm doing my part. So here it is. Here's the sage. Here's the lighter. We're going to light this thing right here, live on the air. Does this lighter work? There we go. All right. Lighting the sage. Saging it up, baby, as Janet Best would say. After all the injuries to Kalijah Cansey, David Walker, Cody Mauch, Luke Gedeke out for a couple weeks, Tristan Wirfs, Chris Godwin, Jalen McMillan. We need something. We need something here in the Tampa Bay area. We are saging this entire program all the way across. We're going to do whatever it takes. I have my jersey back here. My custom Tampa Bay Buccaneers number 10 Jay Recher jersey. We are saging this jersey. We are doing our part here in the Tampa Bay area because enough is enough with these goddamn injuries. We are saging the show today. All corners of our program rocking the Rondé to the Hall t-shirt because enough is enough with these injuries. And yes, this does look like something that Ian Beckles would smoke during the Beckles and Recher podcast, but this is sage. This is not a fat ass J. This is sage. We are doing our part. Enough with the injuries. Michael Jordan wasn't at practice today. Oh my gosh. All right, so we're saging this, and we're hoping that Scottie Pippen can come help us. Bugs Bunny. Let's hope that the Monstars give back the Buccaneers their powers and their health. But enough is enough. We are saging this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. We are saging this entire season. Please, enough with the injuries. Emeka Egbuka was out. Oh, Jesus. All right, we're still saging. We're still saging. We are calling in a favor to the people that helped build this organization. We're calling in the favors to the Selmans and the Doug Williams and the Derek Brooks and the Barber and the Sapp and the Lynch and everybody. Please, please help this team. Help their health. Hell, we'll call Ira Kaufman the real sage. This is the real sage. That's the real sage. They're both sages. Things have to change with the Buccaneers. I'm lighting this sumbitch one more time. We got to do what we got to do. We are saging the season. We are saging the season for the Buccaneers. No more long-term injuries. No more crazy, oh, well, he's missing practice or he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. No more of that. Saging the entire show today. From corner to corner to corner to corner. We are doing our part here on the Jay Recher podcast by saging the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Right here. In the from Ian Beckles to Tony Mayberry to Tajay Armstrong to Barrett Ruud to Yaya Diaby and Kalijah Cansey and Vita Vea and everybody in between. Please, please, please. Emeka is practicing. Thank God. See, the sage is working already. He wasn't out there in the beginning. See, the sage is already working. He wasn't out there in the beginning. That's what people say. Now he's out there practicing. Look at that. Early returns on the sage. Very, very good. Don't tell me that I don't care about the Tampa Bay area. Don't tell me I don't care about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I am smelling up my entire house with sage. We're lighting it one more time, baby, because I might be a pyromaniac. I don't know that for sure, but I could be. But we are doing our part here on the program. Lighten this up, saging it. No more injuries for the Buccaneers. No more injuries. Corner to corner to corner to corner. No more injuries for the Buccaneers. After the dreadful news last night with Cody Mauch being out for the year. Already losing Kalijah Cansey out for the year. Knowing that Luke Gedeke is going to be out for a couple weeks. We're already without Tristan. We're already without Chris. We're already without Jalen. No more injuries for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The sage is here. We have cleansed this entire season. Big circles. Back to the jersey. To wherever the hell Ira Kaufman is. Probably like Jay Bird. There's only one sage here in the Tampa Bay area, baby. It's me. Let's go play pickleball, babe. We did our part, Tampa Bay. We did our part. We have saged this season for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and hopefully we have saved the season for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right, now I got to put this out. So I didn't know how to put it out. So I have a little cup of water here Have you guys ever smelled sage before? It's not terrible, but it's also not great. I'm going to dip it in the water here. This is like an Ian Beckles thing. Like, I look like Ian Beckles now, don't I? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. There you go. Look at that. Look at this thing. My God. All right. Putting it out. One more time. Sage this bitch. Saging it. Saging it. Boom, 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 boom. We did our part, man. We did our part. All right. Put it out. So I wanted to do that today on the program because you have to do your part. And enough is enough with these damn injuries. My goodness. And David Terry's like, where's your little doll? I had to give him back. Joe Boo. Maybe we need Joe Boo. Should have got Joe Boo from Frankie. Frankie's over at Pete's Automotive there on Columbus and Howard or Armenia? Columbus and Armenia. So if you ever need something done, go to Pete's. A voodoo doll? No, we're not doing voodoo dolls, Greg. Costa Rica, Greg. He's saging his place now, too. This place smells freaking... When it's in your face, it's just a lot. Oh, my God. We're making it, baby. We're making it. So, did my part. Hopefully, you guys do, too. Do whatever you got to do. Pray to your... we need a new Smack Apparel t-shirt. Sage it. Yeah, I like that. Sage the season. Big fan of that. Dave Velasquez knows. Sage the season. We got to do whatever we can to help our Buccaneers. Listen, it's been such a fantastic year for them. And it's still early, right? It's way early. But you have these lofty aspirations. You're trying to make a deep playoff run, and then you're dealing with the injuries. Michael Jordan doesn't practice today. I mean, hopefully he comes back, but my God. I'm just looking at some of the other things. Chris Godwin was practicing today, which was good. Tristan Wirfs was practicing today, which was good. But again, after getting that news yesterday that Cody Mauch was out for the year, you're just like, your heart sinks. And we found out last night when we were over there at the Dignitary Cafe, 4817 Southwest Shore Boulevard. You can go check them out over there. But again, Monday night, when we were watching the game, Ian kept saying, look at Cody Mauch, look at Cody Mauch, look at Cody Mauch. And I'm like, he's fine, bro. He's fine. He just walks like that. He's cool. Well, apparently he was not good. So we hear the news last night. Knee injury significant enough. He's going to require surgery, expected to end his season. So now you're looking at a contest on Sunday against the New York Jets where you're not going to have your left tackle in there. You're not going to have your right tackle in there. You're not going to have your left guard in there. You're not going to have your right guard in there. And you're not going to have your center in there. Now, the only two guys that you're going to be familiar with from the start of the season is Graham Barton, your center, that's going to be playing left tackle, and Ben Bredesen, your left guard, that's going to be playing center. So you need a left guard. Is it going to be Michael Jordan? I don't know. Is it going to be Sua Opeta they brought in for a workout today? Okay. I mean, Charlie Heck's playing right tackle, so whether we dislike, I mean, whatever it is, there you go. So, I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. Charlie Heck at right tackle, get used to it. And I thought he gave an effort. I thought he gave a pretty damn good effort. But still, the matchup with the Jets this weekend, it is going to take such a kind of, it's going to be like a shell game. They're going to have to do some miraculous things. And the most important thing is to make sure that Baker doesn't get hurt. That's the most important thing, no matter what. Get the ball out of his hands, run the football. Just be thankful that the Jets are the opponent this week and not the Eagles. That's just what it is. And I want to bring this up. And you're welcome, Hammer. Thanks for the cleansing. Sorry you're late. You're all good, my friend. Vomitron, I like our depth, but we might need to consider trading a second or fourth round pick for a starting caliber offensive lineman. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. You just don't trade for starting offensive linemen. And Jason Light is not the kind of guy to trade his draft picks. So it's just, he's not going to do it now. And here's the other thing too. Let's just be cognizant of this. You bring in Dan Feeney, veteran in the game, been around 8 years. In about, you'd say 3 to 4 weeks, I would say. In 3 to 4 weeks, your offensive line is going to look like this. Tristan Wirfs, Ben Bredesen, Graham Barton, and your right guard is, maybe Sua Opeta, who brought in for a workout today, who was out there. Maybe, one of these other guys, maybe Elijah Klein, and then Luke Gedeke will be back. So Luke's thing is not an entire season thing. And when Tristan comes back, you'll have 4/5 of your offensive line. And, before the season, if you'd ask me who's the one guy you're most concerned about, it might have been Cody Mauch. Definitely don't want him to be hurt. You want him to be in there. Hell, he was the only guy that was playing his normal position these last couple of weeks. But I think if the Buccaneers can just hold the fort down, stay as healthy as you possibly can on the offensive line, and keep Baker upright, I think everything's going to be okay. I don't think this season is lost by any means. And that's why it was so important to win those first 2 games. John Cooper says this a lot with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Munch points. Munch points. Just get them, because you never know what's going to happen later on in the season. You never know when you're going to go and have a losing streak. You're never going to know if somebody's going to get banged up. So just munch and get as many points as humanly possible. So that's what the Buccaneers have done, getting these 2 victories early on in the season. So I'm not as concerned as most people are. I think they're at the limit, though. I think this is close to the limit of the amount of injuries that they can handle, with them still being considered one of the better teams in the league. Listen, just take care. I'm using whatever resources I have to win this game against the Jets, to move to 3-0. And then whatever happens next weekend against the Eagles, like if you got to take an ass kicking against the Eagles to keep people healthy, I wouldn't be surprised if we get to a point where, like, you're losing bad enough. Maybe you see Teddy Bridgewater in that game. Like, I don't care. Stay as healthy as humanly possible. That is going to be the most paramount thing. Win these games, but of course, the schedule's not the same as we've seen the last couple of years. You don't have that murderer's row in the middle of the season. Just try to stay as healthy as humanly possible and win this game against the Jets. Shout out to our guy, Nathan Elliott. He's in the house. Hello, my friend. Honest Hammer. Of course, I want to hear from you guys. Questions, comments, concerns at the bottom. Are you really concerned about this offensive line? Let me know. Weather the storm. We thought if they went 2-2, we'd be okay. I wanted them to go 3-1. I was one of those people that wanted to have it as 2-2. 29 people watching, 1 of 13. Come on, guys. Hit that like button if you can. Hit that like button. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, wherever you're watching, hit that like button. And let's continue to grow this thing. But are you concerned? Are you worried about the Buccaneers offensive line? Let me know. And of course, if you want to comment on the program, you want to join us, you're more than welcome to. There is the link, StreamYard.com/G96KIXW7BZ. Just click on that link in the chat and you can join whether you're on your laptop or on your phone. But we've already saged the season for our Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We've done our part. Hopefully now they can do theirs. You can tell there was a little bit of unease when guys like Baker Mayfield and Todd Bowles were speaking yesterday. They were a little more subdued than usual. And now we probably know why, is because of what happened with Cody Mauch. And listen, Cody is a guy that's really been battling his ass off. He is not a guy that is going to give in. He's not a guy that's going to take any plays off. He really gives 100% every single time. He's a grinder and just a classic offensive lineman that Jason Light has brought in over the years. And when everything else was going wrong and all these different guys were all over the place, Cody Mauch was there. And unfortunately, he won't be there because of the knee injury he sustained against the Houston Texans. So that's another reason why it was paramount to come away with the victory in that game, because you ended up losing 3 players, 2 of them for the season, with Kalijah Kancey going down with that pec injury and now Cody Mauch with the knee injury. Luke Gedeke is going to miss some time for a couple of weeks, but they know what his injury is. He's going to work like hell to be able to get back. And when he does get back, you can get back to what you want to do well. And I say that of like, oh, you'll get back to running the football, but they're going to have to continue to run the football. And even with that makeshift offensive line in Houston against the Texans, they still ran the ball really well, 27 times between their running backs. We said they wanted to go between 25 and 30 carries if they wanted to win that game. in the Lone Star State, and that's exactly what they did. And it wasn't just Bucky Irving. It was a guy like Rashad White, and you're going to need both of those guys. You're also going to need a guy like Sean Tucker. He's going to have his time too. It's a very long season. 17 games is a long time. You're looking at a season that's over 4 months long. I love this, David. And Jason and Sage, we trust. Rob G, not worried. Oh, hold on, buddy. Rob G, not worried. It's a long season. Lots of practice squad players if truly needed. If pass protection is an issue, play calling will be simple. More run, end around plays, screens, quick route. And that's what we've seen from Josh Grizzard. I'm listen, with what we've seen from Josh Grizzard, I'm a huge fan of what I've seen so far from this kid. He's been fantastic. He really has been. So just got to keep that going. Very athletic players in Bucky, Rashad, Egbuka, Tej Johnson. Yeah, I'm with you, buddy. I am with you. Got to keep that going. Hold on one second, guys and gals. Just want to adjust something on my side here. Yeah, I like when you look back at the whole Josh Grizzard thing, the one thing I think I was a little concerned with was, is he going to be able to put these guys in a position to succeed? Is he going to be able to take what has been presented to him when it comes to these injuries, when it comes to, all right, hey, this guy moves here, this guy moves there? Because one thing that we have to show some love to a guy like Liam Cohen is like he was able to do that. Liam Cohen was able to take what was given to him and have all these plays and have them all work. And what we've seen through 2 weeks, Josh Grizzard has fit right in. And he's been in there when it comes to the passing game for the last year. And that's one of the things that we kept hearing from Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans is why they felt so comfortable with Grizz being the guy that was getting the promotion to offensive coordinator. He was in those meetings. They're like, all right, cool. But is he going to be able to run the football like we saw last year? Because the running game has just gotten so much better from what we saw last year, a couple years ago with Byron Leftwich, and then obviously Dave Canales, the optimist bully that he is, and then to Liam Cohen. So we're wondering, like, are we going to see the same thing with our Tampa Bay Buccaneers? And let's take a look at the leaders real quick for rushing in the National Football League. We know how good they did last year. But this year, where are our Buccaneers? All right, not too bad. 135 yards per game through the first two, so 270. So right now, 6, 8, they're ninth in the league. Not bad. Not bad at all. Ninth in the league with 135 yards per game after last year where they were fourth with 149 per game. So you know that you're probably not going to be in the top two. I think we can all get, like when you have the Ravens and the Eagles at the top, right? You're probably not going to get there. I think your goal should be where they're at right now. If they're going to be successful, the Buccaneers have to be between 5 and 10. Be between 5 and 10 when it comes to rushing yards per game. If you do that, you stay balanced. You're still dedicated to the run. You go from there. You're not going to have more rushing yards per game than the Ravens. It's not going to happen. Just because Lamar is such a big part of that running game. I don't think you'll have more running yards than the Eagles. Probably not more than a team like the Washington Commanders. And then you look at like Detroit, and I think if Justin Fields plays a lot for the Jets, they could be another team. But just keep running the football. Keep running the football. And look at what you just saw from the Buffalo Bills and their absolute shellacking of the Jets. And whatever they were doing, you continue to do the same thing. And keep pushing and pushing and pushing and stay on it. And win this game 3-0 to move to 3-0 on the season. So I was very bullish. And here, I'll read these real quick. Personally, I'd like to see all three running backs out at the same time. Send Bucky and White on. Come on. We got two back there, which is a good start. I think the depth that we have might just prove that we're a Super Bowl contender. There we go. Dolan in the house. Hello, Jay, and everyone. Late again. Damn necessary phone calls. You got to do what you got to do. Guys, follow me on all social media platforms. At Recher, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram. Like and subscribe on YouTube. I need everybody out there to kill that like button right now, wherever you're watching. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Kill that like button for me. Dolan, bloody hell, these injuries. Dolan, you missed it, buddy. We saged the whole freaking room here. We saged the season for our Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We had to do our part, buddy. Just like last year when Zach and I sacrificed a chicken. Wasn't a real chicken. Wasn't a real chicken. Was it a real chicken? It was a real chicken. This wasn't a live chicken. It was a rotisserie chicken from Publix. Hey, man. We saw it in the past of what Major League, and they sacrificed fried chicken, a bucket of fried chicken from KFC. I haven't had a bucket of fried chicken in so long. Fried chicken is one of those things. It's my bugaboo, man. I love me some fried chicken, and a bucket of fried chicken. Oh, man, when's the last time you guys had a bucket of fried chicken? It's just different when it's in a bucket. I'd rather have a bucket of fried chicken than a styrofoam thing of fried chicken. You guys agree with that? Bucket of fried chicken. I might go to KFC, just get a bucket of fried chicken. I love it. 18 out of 36. Come on, people. We got to do our part here. Make sure you kill that like button. Public fried chicken, you can't beat that. Okay. So, I just mentioned that I was very bullish. USF Bulls hat back there. Can't wait for baseball season. And Coach Mitch as the roster is out. I'm excited. So, and Dave Randorf is going to join us at 1 o'clock today to give us an update from Lightning practice there. Obviously, if you're joining us and you didn't hear us yesterday and you're living under a rock, Nick Paul is out for the beginning of the season. He'll be back in the first part of November. He's dealing with a left tear in his wrist, something that he dealt with last year. And during the season, and Julian Breezebois told us as much. But there's just something off with the Lightning to me. Something off. And I get the mindset for Julian Breezebois and the front office and how, hey, we're not going to overreact and we're just going to – Karen's there. She's already there. Back when they lost and they got swept by the Columbus Blue Jackets, right? They didn't overreact, and they just kind of went back with it. And they brought in Patrick Boone and Kevin Shattenkirk, and those were the two guys that helped push them over the edge, which was great. But this team that we've seen, not just last year, but the year before, that's not the same team that dominated the regular season. They've been good in the regular season. They've won some games in the regular season. But they have not dominated. You look at what Toronto's been able to do, what Boston's been able to do, what Florida's been able to do. I mean, think about it, guys. Like, the reason why they've played Florida and Toronto in the first round these last couple of years is because they've been coming in second and third in the division. They're not coming in first. Now, is winning the division the end all be all? No, but to think that you're going to take the same approach as you did in 19, the 2019 team and the 2024 team and the 2025, they're not the same. They're not the same. You're not blasting people in the regular season. You're winning your fair share, but you're still not, first or second. You're not fighting for a President's Trophy. So I look at this team and I look at the Florida Panthers because that's the team you have to compare yourself to most. They're the champs, back to back, belly to belly. And I still don't know if the Lightning have done enough to be able to beat Florida. Now, one thing that I did hear yesterday from Julian Breezebois that I loved was that it looks like they're going to use a similar tactic to what Florida did last year when it comes to their players at the end of this, just players on their roster. So for many years, and you never know, this could be one of those things where things could have been different for a guy possibly like, what's his name? Isaac Howard. But it's not, obviously. He's with Edmonton now. But they're going to make sure that they don't just have 12 forwards or 13 forwards and they just have like one guy scratched. They're going to better utilize their salary cap so they can have multiple guys that can go in and out of the lineup, which that's what Florida did last year. They were able to take almost 3 full guys out of the lineup and then put them back in. and those guys stay fresh and those guys stay motivated. And, they just realize that they had to fight for their spot. And I think there's just a little bit too much of complacency with the Bolts for maybe those bottom 6 guys. I don't even know if it's complacency. It's just there's not enough different looks to be able to give the opposition. So for a team like the Tampa Bay Lightning, have they done enough? Bringing in Pelletier, bringing in Pontus Holmberg, maybe. But these young guys have to take a step forward. Gage Gonsalves needs another step forward. Guy like Connor Geekie needs to take another step forward. And you need a standout year from Cooch and Point and Gensel. And, what are you going to get from some Cirelli and Hagel? Fourth line, what's that? Like Yanni Gord, Mitchell Chafee? Like, who's going to step up there? I really hope some of these young guys get an opportunity to crack the lineup. Looking at some of these guys that you look at and think, all right, they're going to be a Syracuse guy. They'll be an AHL guy. No, man, give them an opportunity. Give them an opportunity to see that they belong up here. Now, I know some people are wondering, like, what about that third D pair? Yeah, I think that's a huge problem. Hedman and Moser is one. McDonough and Chernak is the next one. Who else is going to step up? We know Nick Perbix is gone. Lilleberg's there. Crozier's there. Radish is there. I'm kind of over the 11-7 thing. I don't want to see the 11-7 thing that much anymore. If you want to mix it up on the road, okay, fine. But to constantly do it all the time, like, I think it just wears on your forwards. Poor Nick Paul just sitting there. Here, I'm going to. Karen Clemente. Karen, I'm going to put this out so everybody can see it. Look at poor Nick Paul. Just sitting there. Karen, I'm using your... There we go. Look at Nick Paul, poor guy. Just sitting there. What am I to do? And the thing is, too, it's like, it's one thing, he could just chill out there, knowing that it's a wrist injury. Like, what else can he do? He can skate, do a lot of different things. We just can't be out there with his teammates. Poor guy. And they're going to try to, they need to get him back. He needs to get in there. But it's a combination. It's a combination of, I don't know if they've done enough in the offseason to close the gap. I think Florida being able to bring back all of those players, which was huge, to get Sam Bennett back, to get Aaron Ekblad back, to get, who was the other guy? Oh, Marchand, duh. Brad Marchand back. Like, that's huge for them. The Lightning need something else. They don't know what that else is, but they need something else. They need a young player to really rise to the occasion. They need to make a move. They need a guy like Oliver Bjorkstrand to be able to, like, okay, you're that guy. You're that guy that we brought in here to make a difference. The lines from practice today, according to our guy, Eric Erlinson from lightninginsider.com. Gensel, Point, Kucherov. No problem there. Hagel, Cirelli, Gonsalves. Bjorkstrand, Gord, Geekie, Chafee, Holmberg, Gergensons. With Hedman and Moser, McDonough and Chernak, Lilleberg and Radish, and Carlisle and Crozier with Vazzy and Johansson in the net. I just don't think that's good enough. I don't think that's good enough. Yanni Gord needs to be your fourth line center. And I know he's in there because of Nick Paul, right? But that's my problem. And I don't quite understand why Oliver Bjorkstrand, you spent all this stuff on him and he's playing on the third line. Like, Gonsalves is a good player, don't get me wrong, but, I want Gonsalves, Paul, and Geekie together. That's the line that looked, good to me. We'll see. And again, Lilleberg and Radish, I don't quite understand that whole narrative. Lilleberg played his best hockey with Max Crozier 2 years ago. Why aren't they together? I don't understand that. You saw the best of Lilleberg when Max Crozier was here. Now it's like, yeah, well, I don't understand. They got to figure it out, man. Because as much as I love the Lightning, and we're looking at some of the rosters from today. Dylan Duke was out. Group A was here. I'll show you guys the rosters that the Lightning sent out. take this off for you guys. There you go. So Group A, you got Bjorkstrand, Carlisle, Chernak, Chafee, Sorrell. So that's like your main roster right there on A. B, Dylan Duke is in there. Jack Finley's in there. Ethan Gauthier is in there. Max Grossev. Boris Kachuk is in there. Sammy O'Reilly, that's the guy that came across in the deal for Isaac Howard. Steven Santini. And then those are the young guys there in Group C. Ethan Zada, the picks this year. Hale, fantastic goaltender, as well as Menigan. Mignosa is another guy that I know they like, and Spada. So, for this Tampa Bay Lightning team, they're trying to be competitive and stay competitive, and I think that's a great thing. But being competitive is one thing. Being a winner and winning championships are something completely different. All right, I want to show you guys because Rando is going to join us at 1 o'clock, but let's talk real quick about our friends over at The Honest Hammer. I'm going to tell you guys my second partner on the program. We will announce it tomorrow on the show. Very excited for that. But there'll only always be one. Only one. And that is Honest Hammer Custom Builders, LLC, 813-244-0956. My peeps over there. Give them a shout. My guy, Russ, tell him that you heard it right here on the Jay Recher podcast. Get you a discount. 813-244-0956. Honest Hammer, General Contractor Company, CGC, 153116. TheHonestHammer@gmail.com. TheHonestHammer.com. Listen, you have land, you want to build a new house, they can take care of you. New custom home, bathroom remodels, kitchen remodels. They got new construction, commercial construction, interior and structural renovations. He's a Tampa Bay sports fan just like you. And when you're doing things like this, you're building on your home, you're building a new home. You want to make sure that you trust the people that you work with. And I trust my guy, Russ, and the folks over there at Honest Hammer. Again, 813-244-0956. Tell them that you heard it right here on the Jay Recher podcast and get you a discount. Randorf joins us. Dorf, man? Nah. Rando? I don't know. Dave? I know some people call him Dorf. I don't know. I call him Rando. I like Rando. We'll see, because we saw David Terry bringing up Dylan Duke. We'll see when it comes to him, because we saw him last year, and he's just a scrappy kid. And I hope they give some of these young guys an opportunity, because that's what we saw with Point and Gord and Sorelli and Sergachev. Like, they get an opportunity. Go get an opportunity and do your thing. You need some injection of life, an injection of positivity. Just a different look altogether. You need to be able to not be the same old thing over and over again. Yeah. If they can do that, we'll see. Another familiar name for the Bucs workout this morning, Royce Newman. Spent all last year on the 53s, 28, 24 career starts with the Packers before coming to Tampa. So for all those people that are talking about they need to trade for this person, they need to trade for that, like, the Bucs don't do that. The Bucs don't do that. They don't go out and they don't trade all these draft picks. They don't panic. Like, that's not their thing. That's not their thing. They don't do that kind of thing. So to just sit there and think like, oh, this is going to, go out and trade a second round pick for a starting offensive lineman. It's not the way it works in the NFL. First, offensive linemen don't grow on trees. And then Jason Light's not that guy. Just not that guy to take these draft picks that he's actually crushed those last couple of seasons and trade him for a guy that you don't know is going to fit in. And again, in the next couple of weeks, everything is going to be okay for them, in my opinion, if you can stay healthy. Because, yeah, Cody's going to be out. But hopefully by then you fixed your right guard situation. And then you'll have Tristan, Luke, Graham, and Ben Bredesen all back in their normal spots. And I think that's what we should be focused on. Instead of freaking out about these injuries, let's just make sure that none other one. And we did our part. We saged the damn show today. Let's just hope that it stays the same way. And I'll answer this question before we get to the last thing. Rob, the Bolts are missing just true captain leadership. Not a knock on Hedman, but Stammer just was the word in the locker room and the bench defensively. I don't know what we got to do to get better. I mean, I can't disagree with you more, Rob. I can't, buddy, because every person that I've talked to around the National Hockey League, that we joke about how the Lightning had the easiest captain switch ever. Because Victor Hedman is one of the most respected people inside the locker room, outside the locker room, around the National Hockey League. That part of it is not an issue. It's not. It's just talent, in my opinion. The talent's not good enough. The talent's not good enough on the bottom six. It's not a leadership thing. Florida was just better, man. They were just better. The way that they've constructed their roster, just like the Lightning were, they were just better and they perform at a high level. The margins are so fine. You have a future Hall of Fame coach in Paul Maurice. You got a future Hall of Fame goalie in Sergei Bobrovsky. You have really good players on the blue line. You have, tough Finns on the third line. It is what it is, man. You got to improve. Sergio Bilchus, Light won't give up picks or do a trade for a guard, and I doubt anyone will give one up. Once we get worse and Gedicki back, we will be fine. Yes. Win the game this weekend. You have the matchup next week with Philadelphia. Whatever happens. But yeah, win this week against the Jets. And Robbie, I'm with you, pal. I'm still not happy about the Stamkos situation. It's one of those things that's going to stick in my craw to the end of time. Just getting to know Steven as a guy and just, again, you hear it, and I'm going to post it again today on social in a little bit more of just a concrete type of thing. What Julian Brisebois said yesterday about the transparency with Johnny Gordon and Ryan McDonough, he didn't afford that same type of thing to Steven Stamkos. And from what we know. But to be fair, we don't know everything. But Stammer said there was no negotiations, right? Remember 2 years ago on Media Day, he was telling us that. So, yeah, tough. It's tough. But if anything, we look at Julian and said, hey, we learned from the error of his ways. You may not agree with a guy, but at least talk to him about it. At least talk to him about it and be like, hey, this is where we're thinking. We don't think we're going to re-sign you, what have you. If we are, I don't understand why tabling things until the end of the season, if you really want to bring a guy back, hey, this is where we might be at. This is my range. Give him a ballpark just so he knows. Because then you just have radio silence, and that's not good either. Brian Drake, the Lightning are in that tough spot in between. They're too good to be bad, but too bad to be good. They're in that Penguins, Blackhawks back end of the dynasty. You can add the LA Kings on that as well. It's a good point, my friend. All right, so tonight, Thursday night football, and the matchup is going to be between the Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. The 0-2 Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills are 2-0 at home. They are an 11.5-point favorite tonight. I might jump all over that spread, all over it, and put my money where my mouth is and say that Josh Allen and the boys are going to have a big game. I think this could quite possibly be just a public professional execution today. It's over in Miami. It's over. And listen, if they win tonight, I will come on, hand raised. I was wrong. Good for them. But I am taking the Bills so easily tonight in this game because I would have taken them in this game if everything was good and Miami was 2-0, but they're 0-2. And this is a team that just has lost. They've lost the plot. Mike McDaniel was this upstart. Everybody loved him a couple of years ago. It's just not good. It's not good, man. To watch how this whole thing is unraveled. When you have a team that's specifically built for a coach and specifically built for a certain quarterback and it goes awry, it doesn't just peter off. It falls off a freaking cliff. And that's what we've seen here. A lot of people are going to discuss who's going to lose their job first. Is it going to be a Brian Daboll or is it going to be Mike McDaniel? I think they both get fired before the end of the season. I think we could be very the tenure of Mike McDaniel could end tonight. Tonight could be his last game coaching the Dolphins. Because if you're 0-3, what else do you have to prove? What else do you have to wait for? You're losing games in the division. If you lose this game tonight, it's probably going to be ugly. It's a bad matchup for them, like just based on if you're talking like styles make fights type of thing. This is a team that wants to run the football in Buffalo. They'll play any kind of game. They'll slow it down. They'll speed it up. Mike McDaniel, they might just leave him at the airport there in Buffalo while everybody flies back to South Florida and enjoys their weekend on the beach. But I don't see how this works out well. If you're asking me what I think is going to happen tonight, I think it's going to be an absolute car wreck. I'm trying to think of like what else I would put money on tonight in that game. Like Josh Allen rushing yards? Nah, probably not. Like maybe just put a nice penny on the Buffalo Bills winning it. I don't want to say straight up with the points with 11.5. I think they win that game, but life comes at you fast in the National Football League. You're the belle of the ball. Everybody looks at you. People trying to emulate the offense that you run. We saw with Tua Tagovailoa and Brian Flores. Brian Flores had a really tough time endorsing Tua Tagovailoa, and it was just a weird relationship. We knew that wasn't going to last. And then you bring in Mike McDaniel, and Mike McDaniel's offense is focused on getting the ball out of the quarterback, getting the ball out of his hands quick. You have a multitude of running backs in Achane, and I know he's not there anymore, but Raheem Mostert. And you have two good wide receivers in Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Your defense is pretty good. But then your defense starts getting worse. Some of those guys end up leaving. And Tua, when he's not on schedule, really has trouble making plays off script. And you have to be able to do that in the National Football League. You need guys that can do both, on time and off platform. And he is a guy that when he has to go outside the pocket and start making plays on his own, like that's just not his bag. And what makes matters even worse is that he is susceptible to a head injury. It's just something that's happened in the past. And you don't want that to ever happen to him again, but it's just the nature of the beast. So, like tonight, I'm putting a good chunk on Buffalo just winning the game straight out. And then all my, the parlays might just be all negative for Miami, like the under the passing yards for Tua and all that stuff. But man, it's just so crazy how Miami a couple of years ago were knocking at that door and people were wondering. Remember what people were saying about Tua? People were saying that he should be in the conversation for MVP. That wasn't too long ago, man. That was like 2 years ago. And now look at him. Like, what happens if Mike McDaniel leaves? Is Tua still your guy? Can you blame this on Tua? I know some people are going to say that. But you're the quarterback, man. You have the ability sometimes to save guys' jobs and sometimes being, the cause why he gets fired. Look at our guy Dan in the house. No one covers the wagons or circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Where else would you rather be than right here? Are you there, Dan? Are you there? That's awesome, buddy. Nathan Elliott, money on Tua getting benched. Yes. I think I'm going to do one bet just for the Bills winning and then another bet with the Bills combined with just terrible things for the Dolphins. 2 of them. David Terry got 12.5. I'm going to see if I can get 11.5. Dave Velasquez, should I start Rachaad White? If you guys have any fantasy football questions, let me know. Have I ever done like a fantasy football? Maybe once or twice. But, I suck at fantasy baseball, but I'm not bad at fantasy football. So if you guys have any fantasy football questions, feel free to ask them here on the program. Should I start Rachaad White or Isaiah Pacheco on fantasy? See, for me, when it comes to stuff like that, you have Rachaad White in a 2-back system against the Jets. You have Isaiah Pacheco, who's going to be more than likely your number one with the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I look at things like that first and foremost. Competition as well. They're both playing New York teams. The Jets are not as big of a dumpster fire than the Giants. I know that's weird to say, but yeah, so I'm probably going to go with Pacheco on that one. Dan, that's awesome, buddy. Hope you're enjoying your time up there. Looking forward to seeing you at the arena, pal. Rob G, Dolphins got figured out on top of Tua head hit situation. The league adjusted. Dolphins didn't. Bad apples in the locker room like Tyreek doesn't help. That could be a name. That could be a name to watch at the deadline. Not for the Bucs, but where does Tyreek Hill go? Let me look through this. If Tyreek Hill ever ends up getting moved, where does he go? Baltimore? No. Steelers? No. Bengals? No. Too many wide receivers. Chargers? Chargers might not be. Raiders? Tyreek Hill looks like a guy that could play for the Raiders, right? Eagles, Commanders, Packers, Vikings with Justin Jefferson. Woo! Wow, that'd be pretty badass. Bucs? What if the Bucs got Tyreek Hill? Maybe San Francisco. San Francisco or Arizona with Kyler Murray. Maybe the Rams will get him to go out there with Devontae. Nah, they ain't going there. Tyreek Hill just seems like a Raider to me. Niners. I'd like to see him in Minnesota. Give me Tyreek Hill in Minnesota. The Bills, yeah. But they're not trading him from the Dolphins to the Bills. Tyreek would be a good fit for the Chiefs. Good job, Benny. That's a good one. Falcons? Nah, I ain't going to the Falcons. They're not that smart. They don't know what the hell they're doing. Rays in action, a big win last night. Not a big win, but it was a win. 2-1. They're in action today, top of the first. Rays and Blue Jays. It's a matinee affair at Steinbrenner Field. Shane Baz on the mound for the team. So, they're finishing out the season. Coming down to the close here. 152 games. So next Sunday will be the last game. Springer, Lukes, Guerrero, Barger, King High grad, Schneider, Varsho, Clement, Jimenez, and Heineman. Your first 9 for the Blue Jays. Chris Bassett on the mound for them, the right-hander. And the Rays will send up Chandler Simpson batting average, Brandon Lau, Yanni Diaz, Josh Lowe, Jake Mangum, Tristan Gray, Hunter Fiducia, Carson Williams, and Bob Seymour, Shane Baz on the mound. His ERA 5.15. No bueno. If you missed the conversation I had about Josh Lowe yesterday, it's up on the page. Still, I don't, not great. Oh, yeah, we didn't mention this yesterday, but the news that with the new ownership group coming in, Matt Silverman and Brian All both leaving their posts with the Tampa Bay Rays, not surprised. They need to go. They've done the best that they've literally can. They were like PR. They were like their own, those two guys were like their own PR firm with the Tampa Bay Rays. Because all of the things that Brian and Matt had to explain time and time again that were decisions that were not their own. I commend those guys. And listen, they were pretty much always good to me for the most part. Like, I didn't really have many issues with them. I think one time one of them called me, "All right, Mr. Baseball, what do you think about this whole Montreal split season plan?" And I was like, I think it's a terrible idea. Yes, I said that. But the fact that those guys sat down with us over at WDAE and were very transparent in everything that was going on with a lot of things, and it was very gracious because they don't have to do all that stuff. And I know they were the flagship, but I wish Matt and Brian the best. I really do. I don't know if they have to sign an NDA for all the things that they've had to do while they worked under Stu, but those guys have earned a very it's a well-earned vacation. And whatever they decide to do, they're going to be successful. And there is not going to be a shortage of suitors for those two guys. Not a doubt. All right, let's get to him because I know he's got a lot going on. So I want to bring him in here on the program. He hopped out to the car real quick to join us here on the program. Lightning TV play-by-play master, as I call him, the one and only Dave Randorf. Dave, thanks so much for joining me, pal. How are you?
I'm good. You're right. I just came in from the TGH Iceplex, where the Lightning have their practice facility, and watched the very first practice of training camp with the A group, and everybody accounted for, of course, except for Nick Paul, who was watching from the bleachers. He's out until November, we found out yesterday, with an upper body injury after having surgery last week. But I think there's a lot of energy out there. Everybody's excited to be back at it and back into the routines.
Dave, what was the big thing that kind of stood out to you from practice today, buddy?
I know you're going to ask me this, and I already had my answer. I already had my answer before I even watched practice. Nothing,
Yeah.
nothing. I mean, it's the first practice, Jay, and
Mhm.
I think you know what? It was crisp, it was quick, and it's still going on. So that doesn't surprise me because a lot of these guys have been skating for weeks now. Kucherov probably took like all of 2 weeks off
Right.
after they were knocked out before he was out of the ice. So nothing really. I haven't really seen some battle drills yet. There's been no scrimmage. There's just been line rushes and things like that. So once we get into the scrimmage mode, you might be able to see a little bit more in terms of some finish. But it was just interesting to see some, some familiar line combinations, and then a fourth line that had Pontus Holmberg at center with Chafee on one of his wings along the fourth line there with. So he was at center because Nick Paul's
Mhm.
out, so that and Gord was moved up to the third line with Sorelli and Gonzalez. So we'll see how it all shakes out going forward.
Who's the one guy, Dave, that you're looking for this season that kind of intrigues you the most?
Well, there's a few, but right off the top of my head, Connor Geekie. Connor
Mhm.
Geekie, who impressed everybody this time a year ago, made the team unexpectedly out of training camp. Played the first, I want to say, 40 plus games,
Mhm.
and then hit a wall. After Christmas and into January, really hit a wall. He'd never played pro before. He'd only played junior hockey in the Western League. He uh, he earned every bit of his stint in the NHL with some his size first of all grabs you, his pro shot, his hockey IQ wasn't bad, but he had an opportunity and took it. But then the fatigue started to set in. So
Right.
he was sent down to the American League, was there until late April, and came back and looked brand new. Joel Bouchard and the coaching staff down there really did a good job at restoring his confidence, restoring a little bit of structure to his game, probably giving him a little bit more time in the weight room to, you know, recuperate some of the strength that he had coming in. And then he played very well in the playoffs. But I think he really needed to add some man strength. He's a young
Right.
kid who just turned 21, and he's got the frame, he's got the shot, he's got a lot of things. He's a first round pick, a high first round pick. So he's got that pedigree, but he needed to add some bulk to his body. So I want to see some strength in him in the preseason because the opportunity is there for him to be in the NHL right off the bat again.
Who spoke yesterday? Out of all the people that spoke yesterday over at the bench, who's the guy
Yeah.
that kind of stood out? Maybe a comment or two that you kind of went, "Oh, okay, that stood out. It was different than the rest."
Are you kidding me, Jay? You were there. You were in the front row. You know the answer to this question. I know you're asking the questions, but you know the answer was clearly Nikita Kucherov.
Right, right.
Kucherov came in looking lean and mean, by the way,
Mhm.
and I don't want to say like Lightning fans are aware that Kucherov is
Mhm.
not the most talkative guy,
Right.
and doesn't really embrace the whole media aspect of it. Certainly during the season, but in this environment, it's training camp, it's day one. He knows he's got to do it once. He came in ready to talk, and he didn't have his hoodie pulled down over his
Mhm.
head. He was engaging. He was he had his answers can be very brief, and that's putting it
Right.
mildly during the course of the regular season. Yesterday, not so much, not so at all. He was very talkative, talking about how I loved how he said he's sick and tired of the first round exits.
Yeah.
And somebody started a question by saying, back when you won the Stanley Cup, and he cut him off right away. I don't know whether this was you or Ed Encina who asked the
Mhm.
question, but he cut him off right away. So that was a long time ago. I can't even remember back then. I don't
Mhm.
look at my stats. I don't look at numbers, and I believe all of it from him.
Right.
He'll look back on those back-to-back cups and these back-to-back scoring titles later. Right now, he doesn't give a you know what.
Mhm.
He's looking forward, and he wants everybody to be on the same page with him. He can be a demanding guy to play with, and
Right.
I'm fine with that because all the greats are. I think back to the Last Dance documentary that showed Michael
No
Jordan in his
doubt.
days at the Bulls. He was hard on the players around him, and that's why they all have multiple rings. I'm not saying he's that hard, but I'm sure he's demanding. If a pass isn't right there, I know that if you want to join his summer skates, he's in charge. you either show up every day or forget it. Like I'm
Mhm.
out here to work. This isn't just public skating to get loose and break a sweat. No, it's work time in July and August, well before training camp starts. And I love that about Coach. That's why he is as driven as he is to be um, the best, but he doesn't, you know, desire or crave the accolades that come
Right.
with being the best. He is just the best, and you're there night in night out like I am. He's tremendous to watch. And when we all look back on our time watching
Mhm.
this team night in night out, not only you and me, but I'm talking about the fans. We're gonna miss this wizard and this
Mhm.
greatness that we have seen night in night out. Um, he's got this rap around the league that he's pouty and he's moody, and yeah, he is. but,
Yeah.
who cares? That's
Yeah.
just him.
That's him.
That's
Yeah.
just him. And yeah, he's just all about hockey, and he's all about that. So anyway, all that to say, that's who surprised me yesterday with his willingness to share and engage, and basically set the tone that, hey, all I know is that we can't be inconsistent any longer, and we have to bring our playoff mentality into game 1, 2, 3, and 4. We can't fall asleep for 2 goals against in 11 seconds in game 4 when we could have brought that series back home tied at 2 against the Panthers. We can't let that happen. It's unacceptable. And he said a lot without saying a lot yesterday.
No doubt about it. All right, last thing before I let you go, I appreciate. I know
Yeah.
you're a man on short time. Tell us new TV deal, man, with scripts. This is really
Yes.
exciting. It's going to be a whole heck of a lot easier for our fans to be able to watch the Lightning this year, and no
Yep.
fear because the same crew's coming back, isn't
Yeah, as far as I know, I'll check my list
it?
after this, but yes, it's myself, the play-by-play, Brian Engblom. Thankfully, what a wonderful partner, broadcast partner he is, amazing at his job. I really strongly feel he's one of the
Mhm.
best in the NHL, and of course, Gabby Shirley back with us as well, doing the ringside storytelling. So yes, we are now. In the last few years, I've had a lot of feedback from fans saying, you know what, I don't get the previous channel that you were on. I don't
Mhm.
want to pay for the app. The app's unreliable. All that stuff's gone away.
Right.
It is now on your TV for free. Basic cable, over the air. There is a link on the Lightning website, tampabaylightning.com/how to watch. So that'll tell you where the spot 66 is. We're on something called Script Sports, and we are going to be aired in the Tampa Bay area on a channel called The Spot. If you have Spectrum, like I do at home, it's channel
Yep.
17. So it's not like way down the dial. It's right there,
That's
and it's free.
huge.
Yeah, it's free, and it's not only here in Tampa Bay, Jay. The local broadcasters in Orlando, Gainesville, Tallahassee, Jacksonville, all up into the Panhandle, a large part of the northern part of the state will be able to get this in their local broadcast areas. That's where you need to go to the list and find out where exactly the channel is on your cable distributor. So if you don't have cable, I'm told you can buy this little
Mhm.
over-the-air antenna at any store like a Walmart. Plug it in, and that's it. And then you get cable, right? All these over-the-air channels on your TV. So there you go, free. If you don't have cable at all and you don't want the antenna, there's another option for you in the Lightning broadcast area, and that is over the Tampa Bay Lightning app. There will be a nominal fee. It's going to be less than $1 a game. I don't
Mhm.
know what the exact price point is, but I'm guessing around $60 for the whole season.
Right.
That's not bad.
Can't beat it.
If you ask me, that's not a terrible price to pay when you talk about October 9th all the way to the end, right, including the playoffs. That does not include. I get a lot of questions. Well, what if the game's on ESPN or TNT? That's separate from us.
Right.
When it is a national game, we don't, as you know by now, we don't
Mhm.
call those games. They're on TNT, and there are up to about a dozen, I think, a year where they're national, what are called exclusive games that are on ESPN or TNT. But I also want to pass along that we will be doing pre and post game coverage for games that are national games as well. So in
Nice.
other words, if you want to watch, I believe it's post game coverage. Don't hold me to this, but I'm pretty sure it's
Mhm.
post game. So if the game's on ESPN, then you can flick right over to the spot or wherever you are and catch Paul Kennedy, Dave Andrechuk, Adam Hall, Braden Coburn, Pat Maroon,
Yeah,
Ryan
buddy.
Malone, they'll all break down the game for you instead of the national broadcasters just doing what they do, which is they move on to something
Mhm.
else, which is what they do, and they aren't going to get really into breaking down the game you just watched. So it's an expanded broadcast presence. I hope this makes it easy for everybody. It's free, so have at it, and we're looking forward to it. October 9th is the home opener. We'll have an hour-long pregame show that night. The pregame show is going to be out on the plaza, out on Thunder Alley, with Paul Kennedy and his crew, and we can't wait.
TampaBayLightning.com/how to watch has all the
Yes,
information there. The one and only
and
Dave.
you know what?
Go ahead.
If I can say
Yeah, go ahead. Go
sorry,
ahead.
I'm just getting a lot of questions. A lot of
No, it's
people reaching.
fine.
What if I had this? And somebody asked me about Fire Stick or Fire TV or Xfinity. I don't know. It's all on the list, man. We can only do so much.
That's right.
Just go and click on the link, and it's there. It's like it's free and it's there. Trust me, and we hope you find us.
The one and only Dave Randorf. I always say we have two national guys on our TV broadcast that are working for us locally. We are so lucky to have you. I'm so thankful to call you a colleague and a friend. Get back inside, brother. I'll talk to you
Buddy.
soon.
All
Thanks,
right,
pal.
Jay. Thanks a lot.
You're the best. Dave Randorf, the man. We're blessed. We are blessed that he's here in the Tampa Bay area, and so thankful that he was able to take a couple of minutes there at practice in Brandon because they're about to wrap things up there soon. So Dave will head back inside and hear what everybody has to say, but can't wait for Lightning hockey season. And again, we are so blessed to have Dave and Brian and Gabby and the whole crew. I mean, listen, all those guys, Pat Maroon and Ryan Malone. I mean, it's going to be badass this year. I like it. All of our friends down south with the Panthers, they work with scripts. They love it. So only good things here for the Tampa Bay Lightning going forward. Man, you get a little taste yesterday at Benchmark International Arena, and you're like, that's what I love about hockey. Talk about the home opener in less than a month. This isn't football where it's like training camp and OTAs. And hockey, man, they're hitting the ground running. They're on the ice for 2-3 weeks, and then bada boom, they're ready to roll. So, man, that fired up, baby. Fired up am I. Cannot wait. SRQ Tom, I'll take a fired up cooch. Hell yeah. That's right. Watching the Bolts is going to be a pain in the butt this year. No, it's not at all. Actually going to be easier. Dave just laid it all out so you guys can hear everything. DT's jacked up. But yeah, I'm going to go right now. Tampa Bay Lightning.com/how to watch. See how easy it is for all of you. Boom. There you go, guys. Look at that. Right there. Just go on in, how to watch, find your channel, Lightning app, add a market, the schedule, your zip code, right? The stream, over the air, cable in Orlando, Gainesville, Pensacola, Tallahassee, Jacksonville, Panama City, Jacksonville, add a market. Bro, this is legit. Search your zip code. Yo, the Lightning went above and beyond. And look, and if you want details or anything like that and you want to hit them up, do it right there. That's badass. That's legit. So don't freak out. TampaBayLightning.com/how to watch. Everything is on there. All the information. So for the most of us here in the Tampa Bay area, I've got Spectrum too, so I'm watching on channel 17. If you have Frontier, it's 23. Pretty much everything else, like if you want to stream, you can stream on Fubo, Android, Apple TV, Roku. That's on Tampa Bay Lightning app. Can't beat that, man. WXPX, that's the over-the-air, like little provider thing that they'll give you. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. How to watch our Lightning all year long. Good stuff to Dave Randorf, man. What a great guy, right? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, Rando, my guy. Hold on. Damn. Dave, Phil, Greg, Steve. Bolts Radio never let you down either. You're right, buddy. The whole crew over there. Dave Mishkin, Phil Esposito, Greg Linnelli, Steve Versnick. Those guys over there do a great job. And not on YouTube TV yet. All right, we'll keep an eye out for that. But yeah, hopefully, and this isn't a guarantee, but maybe they'll bring me on as a guest for Bolts Radio now that I don't work for iHeart anymore. I also have a big announcement when it comes to Lightning stuff, and we'll announce that here in a little bit. And when we do, you guys will be the first ones to know. All right, so last but not least, but last but probably certainly least, this pains me so much to say this, but I have to be honest. I gotta be honest. So I look at what the season ahead, the postseason ahead looks like. And I'm looking at the standings and I'm looking at who the threats are. And I really like the Phillies in the National League, especially how they played the Dodgers there in LA. Brewers have had a really good season. And I look at the American League and I'm impressed with the Tigers. Houston now in first place by a half a game over Seattle. And I think the Yankees, have kind of found their groove, and Toronto's had a really good season. But the team that scares me in the playoffs is the anybody else want to say it? I don't want to say it. The Baltimore. Mm-hmm. That team right there. The Baltimore. You heard me. They won last night, and on a walk-off, there's just something about this team when I watch them, and I say, what do they have that really scares you come playoff time? And you watch how they were able to win last night with Nate Eaton scoring. Out of all the teams in the league, they are, in my mind, the most athletic in the American League. They have a dominant ace in Garrett Crochet. They have Aroldis Chapman. How can I not remember his name? Aroldis Chapman pitching the best in his career. And you have a World Series winning coach in Alex Cora. You have Alex Bregman, who obviously comes up big come playoff time. But I just look at the amount of athletes that they have. And that was Alex Cora's big thing, getting more athletic. I feel like come playoff time and the games get close and you need one run, they're going to be able to steal that run. I think they're a bad matchup for a lot of teams. Again, you have the ace. He's going to, be able to get you some wins. Game one, so tough to hit. The lefty pitches on that weird decline, that angle. He's just a strange cat. Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, I think I'm going to go on with Jake Asman tomorrow, buddy, on Jets. That'd be pretty cool. 10 a.m. tomorrow. Can I make that? Sure, I can. And today's his birthday, so that'd be awesome. Jake's going to join us tomorrow on the program. But yeah, I'm not even going to. You guys know the team's name. David Terry said it. Fing Sa. Yeah, no thanks. Say it. Robert, I got it, dude. I got it. They're good, man. They're good. And like they're not even close to where they're going to be once they get some more pitching, but their athletes are they're crazy, dude. And it just worries me so much come playoff time. I'll gladly be wrong, obviously. I would gladly be like, man, I worried for nothing. But that's the one thing with me that, Ian and I, listen, if you want to hear some spirited conversation, Ian and I had a spirited conversation on the program yesterday about media and hot takes and religion and Charlie Kirk and that whole thing. Like, this shit got deep. So if you want to take a listen and take a watch, go check that out. But I'm not just going to say shit just to say shit. I say things that are on my mind. I like to have fun. If I'm going to give credit, I give credit where credit is due. And if I have to, I'm not saying show love, but I have to give a nod to these guys. I mean, listen, I got to trust my eyes. I'm going to give you my legit opinion. It's not biased. I cannot stand all things Boston unless we're talking about Casey Hudson, who I love. She's the best. But other than that, I can't stand that freaking city and those people and their sports teams. But that Red Sox team, man, when I watch them, it's just like there's something special brewing. It may not cultivate this year, but if they keep going down that path, they're going to be a problem for many years to come. And I just think based on the matchups, there's no like big killer out there in either league. I wouldn't be surprised if Boston made it to the AL Championship Series. And you heard it here first from probably not their biggest fan, their biggest hater. Yeah, maybe you can call me that too. All right, that's going to wrap it up for me, guys. I got to get ready for practice. I'm actually heading out to see TC and Steinbrenner for a little bit before practice tonight. Thursday night football, again, in my opinion, is going to be the last one. That'll be the last game for Mike McDaniel there in Miami if they get blown out. So a big thank you to our guy, Dave Randorf, for joining us on the program. Jake Asman, Jets guy, is going to be joining us on the program tomorrow. So lots of fun there. Follow me on all social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram. I'm everywhere. Like and subscribe on YouTube as well. Show some love to Honest Hammer Custom Builders, LLC. We're going to do some, when we get the t-shirts going to come out next week. We got a lot of other things in the fire too. We're going to be starting our memberships too as well. Benny and DT, Greg and everybody. If you want to join the membership thing, it's almost going to be one of those things where it's a membership, but you're also going to get special content, special information. And I'm also going to bring you guys in as kind of like a board, not a board, but just almost a sounding board of like, hey, what can we do to make the show better? I'll want to hear from you. No doubt about it. All right, guys, it's going to wrap it up for me. I love you all. See you tomorrow at noon right here on the Jay Recher Podcast. I'm gone. Peace out. Honest Hammer. Love you.